Now, can we actually see the ants? Oh, we can. Okay. So now we get to look at these new special ants. Dusky Lurker is the first one, and it's a universal support. That's pretty standard. So ability number 2 has 100% chance of dealing 270% damage to a random enemy squad and lowering its defense by 60%, which lasts for a single round. Okay, 60% is pretty significant, but a single round, very RNG based, increases squad's attack, squad's defense. This ability, 60% chance to apply 250% damage to a random enemy. Meanwhile, the skill damage of next time of our back line increases by 35%. Okay, so it's worded weird, but to me that means that after you use this, the skill damage of your back line, your third tier or your third line of troops is increased by 35%. So I don't know if that applies to a different group. Like if Dusky Lurker is in slot 2 and you have a different special ant in slot 3, does that increase this other special ant's skill damage? That's kind of how it reads, and that's pretty strong if you have a really strong support like a Jack Jumper in the back line. This one increases units' troop attack, so that's all squads in the unit, so that's decent. And then this final ability, so leading all soldier ants. When the battle starts, attack of all squads increased by 65%, and in the third round deals 500% damage to the enemy's back lines once. 500% on a guaranteed hit in the third round. That's okay, that's strong. That's very strong. As long as this doesn't get disabled by a different ant that disables special abilities, it's very, very strong. So that's Dusky Lurker. Now, guys, put something in the chat. If you don't want me to cover these ants right now and you want to go look at the map and do some other things first, we can do that. I just find it very interesting. There's 16 special ants here for Lost Island, which that's a lot of new special ants, considering what do we have total in the game right now? Or that's not 16, that's 12. Math is hard. But there's only what, like 30 something in the game, so we're increasing the special ants in the game by 30%. That's a pretty huge margin. Okay, so no comments. We're gonna keep going. Ruby Slender. That's a slick looking ant. Looks like it would definitely bite very hard. Melee universal. So this is a frontline ant. The second ability, Revenge. When its squad got normal attack, 100% chance to reduce a random enemy squad's damage dealt by 25% for 2 rounds. So if no special abilities land, just regular normal attack, he reduces the damage dealt by the enemy for 2 rounds, which seems pretty good. This one here, 60% chance to heal its squad. Healing ratio is 320%. That seems pretty big. Let's see. I don't know the answer to that, actually, if you get to keep these or not. I assume that the special ants that you get to keep. Based on all of the comments and the things that I've read, questions, I think that you get to keep these, and the only way to earn them is inside of here. And then there's a special Lost Island hatching egg. So see these special Lost Island hatch eggs on the left here? They have these chances to get the special new ants. And I mean, it seems pretty much like regular summons, but some of these are obviously better than others based on the percent chances they give. So the ones that have a 0.21% chance are likely the strongest ants of the group. The ones that are 0.34 are likely the middle tier, and the ones that have a 0.43% are likely the worst of the batch based on what they assume. So they want the best ants to have the lowest drop rate. obviously. Yeah, as far as I know, you get to keep these, but I think the only way to earn them is inside of here. So you're going to want to participate to have a chance at getting these ants. So let me get back in here and finish this ant up. So increases troop health by 25%, and then the final ability, when the battle starts, defense of all squads increases by 80% in the first 3 rounds. Wow. And if in its squad, the normal attack and skill damage received are reduced by 30%. So it increases all squads' defense by 80% for 3 rounds, and then its own squad takes reduced skill damage by 30%, which is huge. That's huge. So Ruby Slender's really good. I'm seeing a pattern here. These ants are really good. Let me cover the top row, and then we'll go explore the map a little bit and then come back. Because, I mean, I could talk for like 30, 40 minutes just about the special ants. So, Crimson Fragger is a ranged universal. Second ability, squad will have piercing effect. When damage dealt, ignore 60% of the enemy's defense. That's pretty good. And it doesn't say that it has a trigger effect. Like, that just seems like a permanent effect. So it pierces 60% of the enemy's defense. That's super overpowered based on the description, because it doesn't matter what the number is unless it's just a straight 60% and not a ratio. So I don't know exactly how they do things when they word them certain ways, but that seems pretty strong. 60% defense ignoring is pretty good. Defense and attack, those are pretty standard. So here, 80% chance to deal 2 times 125 or 120% damage to a random enemy squad. So it does it twice, and it attacks a random squad. So it isn't the same squad. It might land on 2 different squads, so it's not a ton of damage, but it does attack twice, so that's decent. And 80% chance is pretty good. This ability is defense, and then the final ability, 1 round preparation. 100% chance to increase squad's damage by 35% for 2 rounds, and after that, deal 280% damage to all enemy squads. So you guys see the pattern here with guaranteed damage after X amount of rounds on these new ants. So it takes some of the RNG out of the fights. It's going more towards a consistent damage approach. There will still be randomness, but there's guaranteed damage that's going to happen that makes fights more predictable. I like that because there's a little bit too much randomness right now with special ants, where sometimes you attack somebody and you lose and only kill 30% of their troops, and then the very next fight you win and they only killed 30% of your troops. Like, the swings back and forth are huge based on the amount of triggers that happen with special ants. So I kind of like this new approach to a more consistent and predictable damage set, to know this special ant beats this special ant, but that special ant beats that one. So like, you actually have to strategize against what your enemy's march is and what they're using. So I think that's kind of a big deal. And then we'll cover this last top ant, Golden Crystal, and then we'll go out and we'll look around the map and do some things. So this one is a ranged carrier, so carrier ant. So this one piques my interest because I love carriers. 80% chance to deal 380% damage to random enemy and increase our squad's attack by 65%. So this image is misleading because it's got the plus, like, those are little healing crosses, right? This is not a healing ability, so it's a little misleading to me. And it's called Steel Energy. To deal damage and increase our squad's attack by 65%. So what about this ability steals anything? I'm just going to move on from that, but the ability and the picture are misleading for this one. I wonder if they messed something up there or if they just went with it. So this one is violently poisonous. So 1 round preparation, 80% chance to deal 330% damage to all enemy squads, and have have them into poisonous effects. So you're applying poison, which causes 220% damage to them each round, and it lasts for a round. Okay, so it's a single round poison that does an extra 220% chance. After you've dealt 330% chance, so this is going to deal a total of 550% damage with an 80% chance to proc. That's huge. That's such a huge amount of damage. This ability here is carrier unit attack by 66%. And then the final ability is a 50% chance to deal 240% damage to all enemy squads. If the target squad is in poisonous effect, then the skill damage will increase by 50%. That's cool. So this hits everybody, and then if you've poisoned them, they're going to take extra damage, which I like. I think that's cool, especially if there's another ant in this group that applies poison as well, because then you've got additional chances to poison different squads to do extra damage on top of extra damage. So I think that's really cool. Come to see it. It'll happen again tomorrow. So, special ant number 5 is Gravedigger. Gravedigger has a 60% chance to have a random enemy squad poisonous effect for 225 or 220%. So this is what I was talking about with the previous ant, where if another ant is paired with it, if you pair Gravedigger and Golden Crystal, it's going to be a strong combo, because you're going to poison everybody with Gravedigger, and then Golden Crystal will do additional damage with this skill to all squads that are poisoned. So they're going to be a really strong combo to work together, and it looks like they built them to work together intentionally, which is great. So 2 rounds on this poison. This one does 1 round preparation, has a chance to deal 430% damage to 2 random enemy squads, and if the target squad is in poisonous effect, then it cannot. So here's a translation issue, but it cannot initial combat skill, which lasts for a round. So if you poison and this nerve poison goes off, they can't use their skills for 1 round, which is great because that gives you a crowd control ability, which is fantastic. This one increases the health, and then this one, in the first 4 rounds, all carrier ants' skill damage is increased by 45%. That's crazy. That's a lot of additional skill damage. So this is a good support ant. Let's see, hoping this one's another carrier, and it is. So they gave us 3. So it looks like they gave us 3 universals, 3 carrier, 3 guardian, and 3 shooters. So this is the melee version of the carriers for this go around. So let's see. This one has a heal. So in its squad, it has a chance to heal by 147%, and he's a frontline ant. So he's going to be in there taking damage and then healing his own group. So up to 280%, which is pretty decent. This one has a chance to reduce its squad attack and skill damage received by 60%. So this is a great frontline tanking ant. Like, he reduces his damage taken. He heals. Let's see. This one, we're used to that one, regular ability. This one's health, so health is strong. And then this one has it deals 360% damage to enemies' frontline stability each round. Every single round, it does 360% damage. That's insane. That's guaranteed damage every single round of combat to their frontline. This guy is an absolute unit. Like, that's insane. Holy. Gotta remember not to curse on stream, but wow. That is a strong ant. So definitely want the Blood Giant, Golden Crystal, and Gravedigger as a carrier. Alright, that's it for this video. Remember to hit the like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.